is the year that auto-enrolment hits real life. Last year was the year that auto-enrolment hit all the people with big firms, big money, big resources, CIPD qualified HR directors, HR managers, HR teams, and loads of resource. The legislation, this is nothing to do with pensions, right? This legislation has nothing to do with pensions. What's going to happen is that 1.2 million of these people are suddenly going to have to become pension experts. That's what this legislation is all about, right? Rather than train up 1.2 million people in pure pointlessness, right? Why not have a computer that can handle pointlessness and do it for you? Right?
So the firms there, as Steve said, have got huge project managers and they've got people running this stuff, they've got huge HR teams. The firms that we looked after had 2 people in HR, 2 people in payroll, so still a relatively big team. These people ain't going to have that. They're going to have, as you said, as Steve said, 1 person in a room, and they're going to cope with that. So what we've had is loads of, not very many firms with loads of employers, moving to not very many employers per firm, but loads of employers, so loads of companies that need to comply. And in actual fact, the situation we've got is, for those smaller firms, you're in a position where what they need to do is exactly the same as a big corporate. The rules don't change just because you employ 20 people. They're exactly the same for a big corporate as they are for 20. But they won't have the systems in place in order to do that. So the challenge in this market is, how do we help those people? I think you need to decide whether you're in, decide whether you're going to refer it out, and just work that way.
We're actually finding that a lot of you guys, one of the biggest things you're actually asking for is, how do I approach an accountant or an employer and look better than the guy down the road? So you don't want to be necessarily armed with a free white labelled report that anybody can provide. You may want to go to see these guys with a full bespoke report which outlines everything an employee needs to know and their costings. Caps it, how do we earn money from this? Well, we actually think pension scheme is not what you earn money from. Okay, so first and foremost, if you're going to try and get terms from a provider, you think that's how you're going to earn your money long term, I think you're probably off to a bit of a false start. So we think that the pricing structure is really deadly important.